a seat, grab yourself a beer, and we're going to cook some scallops this evening. So the first thing about scallops is knowing the difference between your wet scallops and your dry scallops. Your dry scallops are just what they sound like. They cut them out of the shell, drop them in a bucket, done. Your wet scallops are treated with a phosphate, and it causes the scallop to retain water, and it turns them snow white. But when you cook them, the water leaves the scallop, they shrink like crazy, and they're rubbery, and because of the water in the pan, it kills your sauce. So, you know, pay the extra money, maybe about 30% more, and buy the dry scallops, and you'll have a much better product. The problem with the scallop is it's just solid protein. You have no fat. And you have to take that into account and undercook your scallop slightly. You can eat scallops raw. A little bit of soy sauce, maybe a little touch of lime juice. But yeah, you can eat them raw. So undercooked with the scallop is way better than overcooked. So we've got our fresh scallops, our dry packed scallops, and you want to swish them around in a bowl of water. Sometimes they'll have just a little bit of grit on them because they're fresh, but it doesn't take much, nothing more than that. So I'm going to set these out and give them a pat with a paper towel. And they also have a connector muscle on them. Yeah, it's very edible. It's a little more chewy than the rest of the scallop. You know, some people, you know, take it off. Some people leave it on. We'll take it off. That's your little connector muscle. And they don't always have them on there, depending on who cut the scallop out of the shell. Maybe it came off. Alright, so now we're good to go. And go ahead and start our oil. Now I'm using a cast iron skillet because it's great for browning, and it gives you a nice crust. And I personally just think everything tastes better out of an iron skillet. So I'm using some canola oil. It could be, you know, vegetable oil. I like canola because it has a higher burn point. Gives you a little bit more margin for error. And now I'm going to dust the scallop with the blackened seasoning that we make here at the store. You know, you can come in and get this seasoning. You just come in and say, this is my first time to get the seasoning, and it's free. And if you like it, then I charge you the rest of your life. I think that's fair. So this seasoning is a makeup of some salt and garlic powder, onion powder. There's some paprika in here, some oregano, and some thyme. So it doesn't have any cayenne in it. I don't like to use cayenne because you don't have a lot of room for error. If you put in too much, it's just too doggone hot. My choice would be some crushed red chili flakes. They're a lot more controllable. Now, cheap restaurant trick, and it works every time. You just use a little granulated sugar on your scallop. You don't pat it like a donut, just kind of like that. And we're going to do both sides. And good to go. Now with the scallops, you buy scallops, a U10 or a U15 or a U20, and that's how many scallops in a pan. Now, everyone asks me, well, what does a U stand for? Well, the U is an acronym for, you know how many's in there? You know, talking to the fishmonger. Okay, I made it up. Alright, so dropping them in. This is going to take maybe 4 to 5 minutes. Now you don't have to use cast iron. You can be using a a non-stick skillet or stainless steel, but cast iron conducts heat very evenly because it's a heavy skillet. You can buy one new for 35, 40 bucks, or you can pick up one up at the garage sale, 5 or 10 bucks. All right, we've got some nice color on our scallops. We're flipping them over. Aren't those gorgeous, just like at the restaurant? But sugar does the trick every time. But you won't taste the sugar. It just caramelizes the scallop. So now we're going to let them go another 2 or 3 minutes and scoop them out, and then we'll make our sauce. And I'm back. Okay, so our scallops are done. Again, we've got a nice crust on both sides. They look real pretty and they're going to taste real good. So we're going to set them out. And now we're going to make our sauce. Now these scallops are definitely a little undercooked. We're going to continue to cook while we're making the sauce. And I've got a little too much oil in my pan, so I'm going to dump part of that oil out. And now I'm going to take some white wine. Any white wine will do. A little splash. Hey now, settle down. So what I'm adding is some sweetness to the sauce from the white wine, and at the same time, deglazing the bottom of the pan. All right, we got that done. Going to add some butter. And I'm going to take some more of the seasoning that I used on the scallops to make the sauce with. Just a touch. Like I said, if you want some heat in here, then this is where you'd add the red flake chili pepper. And how about a little bit of lemon juice? Or I'm sorry, lime juice. If there's any lime in there. I'm working hard on this, folks. Well, that's the general idea. So that gives us a little bit of acid. Just waiting on the butter to melt. Just a touch more seasoning. And that ought to get us there. And we're going to plate this up. Put the sauce on the bottom of the plate because we've got real pretty scallops. No reason to hide them. So there goes our sauce. Set our scallops. You got dinner. It'll work. It's stupid simple. And I say that because if I can do it, anybody can do it. Thanks for watching.